graduate from high school or get a GED. Otherwise, you've got no opportunities available to you, none. And if you, once you get that done, then you have three choices. You can get an AA or a BA in a formal university or community college setting. You can join the military, which is a great option for people that want to make the military their career. And the third one is learn a technical skill, professional technical. And those jobs are great paying jobs, like I say, and most students don't understand how good those paying jobs are. But I can tell you it's a skill that they can take anywhere in the world. And they can use that skill, they can support themselves and their families, there's benefits. So what dovetails onto that is we need to keep the job pipeline flowing. I mean, right now we've got work. I've got some friends from labor that are here and there's jobs, but we've got to make sure that there's jobs in 2 years and 5 years and 10 years from now, not just for them, but for the people that are coming behind them and that are working so hard to support their families. And I'm committed to protecting that. So those are on healthcare, the last thing I want to add is mental health needs to be a part of healthcare. Mental health has been shortchanged in the state for a long, long time. And I can tell you where I realized the effect of that is after 1 October that we suffered at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, which was a real tragedy for the country, for the state, for everyone. And I spent a long time on 1 October when the sheriff called me on the night of October 1st, and I was sound asleep. It's 10 o'clock at night, and he said, "Commissioner, I just want to let you know we have a live shooter on the strip, and we've got one." I said, "How bad is it?" He said, "We've got 1 or 2 dead and a dozen or so wounded." And I said, "Okay, I'll meet you at this head station." I went down there, and by that time it was growing to a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen. It was going so fast, and we all knew what happened. And I realized then at that time, the next day I toured the site, and I've never been in the war. I've never seen a military zone that was had gone through what happened on 1 October, and I can tell you that the bodies and the blood and the carnage that I saw that day will never leave my mind. I mean, there was days I couldn't sleep for the first week. It seemed like we were up constantly, the sheriff and I, trying to deal with the situation. But now we're still 6 months later, 7 months later, we are getting law enforcement, our first responders, that are just feeling the effect of the PTSD. Something will bring it back to them. It can be driving by the site. It can be a song that comes on the radio. It could be a backfire of a car. It hits people at different times. And I'm telling you, people say it's just they got to get tough and suck it up. It's real. I'm telling you, it's real. I experienced it, and they need to have access to counseling and treatment for that, because we've got a whole generation. Over 50% of the people that we incarcerate in the Clark County Detention Center are not criminals, they're mental health patients is what they are. The officers arrest them, they don't want to just leave them back out on the street, so they bring them to jail and they dry them out or give them their medication for a week, and then they kick them back out on the street until they pick them up again and go through the whole thing. That needs to change. We need to invest in our mental health facilities and the care of the people that so desperately need it. So those are just some of the things that I'm concerned about. As far as the election goes, for those of you, and I appreciate you, like I say, you all being here, we're doing well. We're happy with where we're at right now. Our poll numbers look good. Our poll numbers look good in the south and in the north. But the turnout is going to be extremely important this time. I mean, every single vote is going to count in the primary. Every single vote is going to be important to us, and we really need you to turn out and get your friends and family and colleagues and whatnot to turn out. So I'd love to open up and take some questions if anybody's got any.
Yeah, my name's Steve Casper, and I've been following what's going on with you, and I'm just curious, you're so closely identified with Las Vegas and Southern Nevada. If you were elected, how is that going to balance out Northern Nevada as part of your deal?
I appreciate that, and that's a fair question, because I am not born, but I'm basically cut my teeth in Southern Nevada, and I've lived in the same house for 25 years now, so I've been there a long time, and that is what I'm associated with, obviously being on the county commission and being chair of the county commission. But before I did that, I spent 10 years in higher education, and I spent a lot of time at UNR, at Truckee Meadows and Western, at Great Basin and whatnot. And I didn't, at that time when I was on the Board of Regents, it wasn't about UNLV and Community College of Southern Nevada to me. It was about the state of Nevada. It was about everything, because we are all one Nevada. We need to work together to be stronger. There are benefits to being in the south, there's benefits to being in the north. Clearly the temperature up here is an enormous benefit. I can attest to that firsthand. We're facing problems in the south that aren't as prevalent here. You've got some here that aren't as bad there. And I think I can take what I've learned. For example, we're short of water down there worse than we're short of water up here. But the housing crisis is even worse in northern Nevada than it is in southern Nevada. I pride myself in being a consensus builder. And on the county commission in Clark County, we handle everything. We handle the county jurisdictional issues, which include our only public hospital, includes our airport, our justice system, all of those sort of things for our entire jurisdiction. So our meetings on Tuesday, that's what we deal with. We deal with big issues. You know, are we gonna borrow another $150 million to extend a runway at the airport to add more capacity? Are we gonna change an ordinance? And those are big decisions we have to make, and we work at it and we take it very seriously. The next day we work on zoning issues, which I get 2 neighbors coming to me that are fighting over the height of a wall in the backyard because your apricot branches are hanging over my wall and dropping the leaves, which clog my pool filter, make a mess, and that's what I get on a regular basis. So I pride myself in, I firmly believe if I take that door over there and I shut that door and turn the latch on it, and put on a pot of coffee and say, we're gonna work on some kind of arrangement here. You're gonna agree to prune your trees back, and you're gonna agree to not make a big deal if a couple leaves or 1 apricot falls over the tree, and he'll put up 1 more course on. We can find some type of solution, whether that's for a multi-billion-dollar project on Las Vegas Boulevard, or that's to add 6-inch block on your back wall. And I pride myself in doing that, and I think I can take what I learned in southern Nevada to northern Nevada. I think what I've learned in housing in southern Nevada could clearly help. And I've talked to Mayor Sheevey about some things that we've done in the south in terms of density and infrastructure to improve it. So my intention is to represent the entire state, Washoe, Clark, and all the other rurals that are associated with it, just like I did when I was on the Board of Regents, and I didn't play favorites. And I think that I pride myself in being fair, being equitable, and I think working together we can go a long, long way. So that's what I intend to do. And I'm committed to doing that.